My name is Ben Woodruff and this is my Unit 21 presentation. So I'm looking at Riverside Leisure Centre, the same as what yours, and I'm looking at the disability aspect of it. So my proposal summary, it's going to be a disability multi-sport session, split into two. On a Wednesday, 1 6 till 7, 1 7 till 8. The early one is going to be kids and the late one is adult, and they are both unisex, so all sessions all together. It's going to be run in the studio at Riverside with activities tailored for the space there. The reason I've put it on a Wednesday is because CSF don't have any disability sessions on a Wednesday. It's the only night they don't, so as to not clash, it means that we can then potentially get some participants that are at theirs as well. And 6 till 7 and 7 till 8 are the times they do for their football on a Tuesday, which seems to work quite well because it's not too soon after school that the participants are really distracted, and it's not too late, they're really tired.
When you're saying multi-sport, are you saying you're going to change sport every week? Or
Yeah, so it's going to be a variety of activities just to keep them engaged. I'll go into the activities in a bit, but there will be lots of different ones mixing about. So, firstly, marketing. There's sort of three prongs to this. The first is leaflets in and about the local area, so community centres up on poster boards, potentially around in local schools. But that's not one I want to really focus on. That's one we won't do. We don't have to. Leaflets are a very cheap way of doing it. So I've recently had to market a Wildcat Centre. We had 500 leaflets and 50 posters printed for us for £30, which I don't think is that much for sending them around. The next problem is Facebook. I run Sage United social media. We sometimes boost posts to reach more, so I can pay £2 to reach an extra 2,000 people. So by doing that, we can reach a bigger target audience. And then, as Robbie alluded to in his Radio Norfolk, you can reach potentially a week 189,000 people. That is their weekly viewer figures. And as well as promoting the session, you're bringing good publicity to the centre as well. And people are hearing about the centre and about, and they might then think to go there. You don't just have to advertise the disability session, you can advertise everything else. So, human and physical resources. Firstly, we'll go physical. One of the activities I'd like to introduce is boccia. Boccia is a disability sport, very much like bowls. You're putting balls across to a target ball. A good boccia set is £120, and the next one I'd like to introduce is another disability sport. Goalball is £20 and 99 pence for goalball from BW Sports Equipment. Human resources, sorry. The key one is the instructors to run the sessions. I won't employ any new ones. I'll go with the instructors already at the centre and potentially upskill them. You don't need any specific qualifications to teach disability sport. You've just got to have a good way with the kids and the adults. And then the administration side, reception, going to process all the applications, and then potentially someone in sales to market it, and then this will all be seen to by the manager. Operational considerations, three major ones. The first is health and safety of the participants, that is paramount. So to do this, risk assessing the venue, the activities we're going to be doing at the venue, and making sure it's all okay. Also, making sure the instructors are DBS checked and safeguarding checked, make sure it's all up to date. They should have it working at that centre, but making sure it's up to date, which we'll do as part of the timeline. And then again, having a 1 to 10 instructor ratio to make it fair and make it safe. That's what CSF have. You have to have one instructor to every 10 disability participant, so that you can give them enough attention. If it was 1 to 16, it would be impossible because you'd have too many things going on, and it would be too difficult to do. Again, you've got to have at least 2 instructors there as well for toilet breaks and for safeguarding issues. Costing. I've worked out that weekly it's going to cost £74 and 9 pence. And this is made up of £60 cost going on instructors at £15 an hour, as they are part-time instructors at Riverside doing stuff like this. £15 an hour for the 2 hours. 2 of them is then £60. And the rest is made up of the equipment all lumped together over a 10-week block.
That might go up if you've got more than 10?
Yeah, so I'm basing this on having 20 participants at each session at the minute.
Okay.
And obviously if that grows, I think it gets better. So 20 participants per session instead of £120 brought in. If we charge £3, £3 is what is charged by Carnbrook up north. Carnbrook Leisure Centre, they do disability multi-sports. CSF only charge £1. That's because they get a lot of funding because they're a charity, so we have to try and make a bit of profit from it. Which would mean the profit per 10-week block is £459 and 10 pence. Aims and objectives for improvement, adding more sports, so rather than just having bocce and goalball, we'll add stuff like sitting volleyball. You need a volleyball net, and the ball's £60 off of Sports Store UK, and then potentially offer an additional membership to the gym and the swimming pool as well, which is what CSF Extra Time do to try and bring their participants into it. So at the minute we would only have bocce, goalball, basic circuits, dance and swim sessions. Those 5 just rotating around the 10-week block, so do 2 of each on the 10-week block, making them nice and fun, but adding more sports, so potentially having one thing each week, keeping them more engaged rather than doing circuits every week and getting them a bit bored. My smarter target is that each hour session will have 20 participants by the end of the first 10-week block. So the kids one will have 20, that's under 16s, and the adults one will have 20. I've taken this directly from CSF's Tuesday Disability Football. They get 22 at each session. I think 20 is a doable figure, given some good marketing, good promotion. I also think it's specific because I've said where, and it's measurable because of the number there. And it would be approved by the centre manager before that was our smarter target. And the SWAT. So the strength of the programme is it's a market that they have very little areas in. They run 1 disability session a week, disability swimming. That's capped at 10 participants. So their disability programme at the minute is 10 participants, all kids. If we added this, it would grow it. And then if the demand grew, you could have more nights, and you could actually tap into that market that hasn't been reached yet, and there's then money to be found. Another strength is it makes the centre look really good. It really promotes it in a good light. You're delivering disability sport and you're accessible to everyone. The weakness is it might put a bit of extra strain on the office staff having to administer another programme, the instructors having to instruct another programme. It might you have to employ someone else, which would then cost more money through the application process, the training process. Opportunities to expand it, like I said, if it becomes really popular, we can grow it. So CSF's disability programme isn't just a Tuesday night, they have Friday night football, and they have one Friday night disability swimming. They've got Thursday night disability PDC, and multi-sports camps in the summer. It could be that you could run a multi-sports camp that's £20 for the day, and you're making more profit from that. And threats would be, the main threat would be CSF disability programme, because that is the main one in the local area. Timescales. So, first of all, it would be approved by the centre manager. From that stage, we'll get the team marketing it. The people marketing it will be the people in sales at Riverside. That's part of their job remit. I want to market it for a month and then launch the programme. From there, each week, we'll have a meeting with the people that are running it to review, to see how they feel it went, to see if there's anything we can change. And then after the 5 weeks, we'll have a sit down, another big review. The next 5 weeks of the 10-week block, we'll just leave, let them get on with it. And then at the end of the 10-week block, we'll hand out questionnaires to the participants. Again, I keep referring to it, but that's what CSF's disability programme do. They hand a questionnaire out to the participants, to the parents and to the coaches. They collect the feedback and then review it, and then change it to make it better. And they can add activities, you can find out what sports they've enjoyed, what they haven't enjoyed, and make it better through that. And then, if we feel it's worthwhile, renew it on, and then start the whole process over again. But if we renew it, we'd only have a 2-week gap in between, because we've got participants to retain, so we don't need to market as much, but we can still market it to grow. Implementation. So overall, the centre manager is going to be responsible for making sure people stay on track in implementing it, but the responsibility is shared. So sales is responsible for promoting it and getting the people there in the first place. Reception are then responsible for doing the sign up, making sure we've got everyone's details, making sure the money is paid. And then the instructors are responsible for turning up and delivering the session. This is what happens with their disability swimming session. The payment is taken by reception, they're signed up there. The sales are the ones that promote it, and then the instructors literally turn up, deliver it. That's their only responsibility. And the manager or the duty manager oversees everything. That way there's not one person taking everything on, and it can be shared around as part of their job roles. So in sales, and the receptionist, that's their full-time job, so you can just add it to their workload. You can still pay them the same without having to employ someone else, keeping your profits up. KPIs. So I've got 2 main KPIs. The first one is on session numbers, specifically how many are retained per block. So if we had a 10-week block, how many were there at the start that were at the end? and also how many are there on a new 10-week block that were there from the last one. Retention is the key because it shows whether they enjoyed it or not. And then customer satisfaction on the survey, there'll be a rating 0 to 100, and we'll collate all of them, get an average, and if the average is over 85, we'll be happy that they've enjoyed it, and I've taken the average directly from the one that's CSF. Any questions?
What do you envisage the potential take up to be?
So participants turning up.
Yeah.
Initially,
Yeah.
probably only 10 per session, but then word of mouth spreads because they will go to the same schools locally. Wherry School, Clare School.
What makes you so sure you're going to get 10?
Because when CSF launched a new programme, genuinely there's 10 of them. And I know they've got the brand name, but there's such a demand for disability sport in the local area. Especially different sports codes, so the main disability sport going on at the minute, other than power chair, football is disability football, but having the chance to do other sports, bocce, goalball, will probably really attract people.
Anything else, Matt?
No, I'm happy.
Yeah.